Welcome back, guys, to Final Fantasy XVI, where the second DLC has arrived, The Rising Tide. A more story-centric DLC, a longer one than we had with Echoes of the Fallen, which music plays in the background at this point in time, which is bizarre to start with, but I completely forgot that I turned it on at the end of the last, DLC, and then came in here and I was like, oh, what the hell's going on? But we're looking for some more crazy cool boss action, plus I guess actually some more quests, etc. along the way, as more powers will be added to Clive's repertoire. So with that said and with that done, should we just get the DLC underway, which supposedly starts here? Always makes me wonder if something else has appeared in the meantime. It's unmarked. Sid, I should not waste time mincing words. Leviathan's dominant is in need of rescue, and despite my innumerable misgivings about joining hands with an outlaw of the highest disrepute, the dame has assured me that there is none better suited to the task at hand. I dare not reveal more, for fear this missive could fall into the wrong hands, but if what little I have penned here has kindled your interest, I bid you journey to the Vale in Northreach and inquire of one Layla. She will surely see you satisfied. Shall I heed the mysterious request and be satisfied?
Leviathan the Lost? But why now? After all this time?
Why, what now?
Oh, I'm not sure you'd believe me if I told you.
After all we've been through. I doubt there's anything that could surprise me at this point.
All right then. Rouse Joshua and meet me in the mess. We'll talk there. I see we're all here.
So, what is it this time?
I'm not sure yet. The letter delivered to my chambers omitted a few crucial details.
Do we know its provenance?
That was one of the details it omitted. But whoever the sender was, it seems the dame held them in high enough regard to point them in our direction.
The dame? Well, she's not one to waste our time. It must be important.
Important might be an understatement. If the letter is to be believed, Leviathan's dominant is in danger. And someone wants us to save him.
Leviathan?
So the Warden of Water has finally returned. What has it been? 100 years?
More. The Lost moniker dates back at least that long. Even our venerable lawsman would not have been so much as a glint in his father's eye when last the mighty serpent brought his crashing waves to bear upon the realm.
But why the gap? I know it can be a few years before a new dominant's born. But over a century?
Should the dominant of Water's bloodline have been severed somehow, it could have prevented a new dominant from awakening.
But if one has awakened now, he couldn't have chosen a worse time. Every nation in the realm has lost its dominant. If word gets out that there is still one to be had, they will stop at nothing to claim it for their own.
And the twins will be at war again, just when humanity most needs to come together. Did the letter say anything else?
Only that if I wish to know more, we must meet in person. And that the Vale can arrange a meeting.
If nothing else, you can be certain it ain't a trap.
Famous last words. I'm coming with you.
As am I.
Thank you. Both of you. And Otto?
Yeah. I'll keep an eye on things here. Didn't fancy coming anyway.
Thank you. I shall leave the Invincible in your capable hands.
They love to put in their new quest jingles, don't they? Alright, chasing the tides. Quest destinations for the rising tide are indicated with that marker. After accepting the quest, current objectives are displayed in the to-do list on the right hand of the screen. These will temporarily replace main scenario objectives, because at this point in time we still have to go up and face our final foe. Prioritizing the tides. If you wish to restore main scenario objectives to the to-do list, you can do so on the journal tab in the main menu, as Piet gives a sub, making me realize that I don't have my sound settings completely correct there. So, with that said, doesn't look like we have necessarily any new quests going on.
What will it be today?
Don't know if you want to show me anything in particular or not. Find Layla in Northreach. That's where we got to go. And of course, the main thing whenever a DLC comes out is we got to get used to the game and how it plays yet again. All its buttons, all the things and more. I'm thankful the other two are coming with me because they're basically going to protect me while I try to get a hang of things again, like trying to remember the combo of moves that we use and stuff like that. Holy capital. Let's go over to Northreach.
The garrison said they take another 100 of me pitch bots.
Those whites will think twice.
Oh, actually in there.
To the Vale it is then.
I was weirdly thinking I should go round in the weirdest way. We'll just straight in the corner. We're just going to meet there.
Looks like you've got a thirst.
But enough talk. How about we...
Fancy a peek behind the veil, my lord?
Sure, I need to be satisfied, supposedly.
I'm looking for a Layla.
You found one. So, will your friends be joining in? Or just watching?
We're not here for your services. We simply want to talk.
What you do with your time is up to you. The price is still the same.
We're here about the letter.
Oh, sorry. I suppose you'll be wanting to know who wrote it then.
Among other things.
Look, I'm just the messenger here. There's only so much I can tell you.
Specifically.
A location, north of town, on the shore of Isle of Feist Bay. There you'll find a tent and the woman who can answer your questions.
And that's all. Nothing else.
Actually, one thing. There's more than flowers in the meadows these days. So keep that sword of yours to hand.
I feel like someone next to me was staring daggers a little bit.
Does
Yes.
anyone else think it's strange that this woman should prefer to keep to the outskirts of town?
Not if she realizes the value of the information she's party to.
And the danger it puts her in.
Supposedly, my brother and my lover just are there to watch. Not at all awkward. Not at all.
Those things didn't fight like men.
The best thing at the moment is me trying to keep pressing down the button, going like, oh, sprint, and then remembering that, of course, sprint only works when you've been moving forward for a certain amount of time, doesn't it? We can get the chocobo. Ah!
The tent is where Layla said it would be.
Yes, but who awaits us inside?
No one!
It's empty. Why am I not surprised?
Well, there's a ship.
A boat. No prizes for guessing who that belongs to.
We must continue the search. Say that they've only recently put out the fire.
The embers are still warm.
So you're Sid.
I suppose I must be. Which means you have me at a disadvantage.
Apologies. I am Shula, Tributary of Mysidia, final haven of the Motes of Water.
The Motes of Water.
The very tribe into which it was believed Leviathan's dominant was born. A people notable for their sapphire eyes and ivory hair. Yes, that would be impossible, since the tribe famously...
Vanished. Was exterminated. Despite the best efforts of both church and state, we are still very much alive. Though we've managed to keep that fact hidden from good Grieger's faithful for over a century.
Along with Leviathan's dominant.
That wave out there. What do you know of it?
The surge. Only that it's been there a long time.
Since the fall of Drake's Eye almost a century ago. Some claim the two are connected, but none can speak with any certainty. So in other words, you know nothing. Not that I'll hold it against you. The wave was raised by Leviathan in an act of rage. Moments before the waters were stayed, and the icon and its dominant bound within.
And you want us to?
Rescue him. Yes. You see, a little bird told me about a certain outlaw with a singular knack for putting unruly dominants in their place. And ours is about as unruly as they get. For years, we've searched for someone who could hold their own against an icon. Someone just like you. So what do you say? Will you help us?
What exactly did your dominant do to warrant this punishment?
What did he do? He committed the greatest crime one of his kind can. He was born. But he deserves a better fate than the one my people forced upon him. He deserves to be free.
As do we all. Very well. Far-fetched though your tale may seem, something tells me you speak in earnest. So we will do what we can for your dominant. But first, you will tell us everything you know about him and the means of his imprisonment.
I can do better than that. I can show you. Care to take a trip across the bay? My people await you there.
Lead the way.
New locations. As expected, a new world map to run around. I don't know if there's more levels for me to claim and stuff like that, but we'll find out. The Lost Cloak. If you manage to navigate the cloak's narrow mountaintop pass without plummeting to your death, you'll be rewarded with a breathtaking view of blighted wasteland stretching from the Olizandri Bay to the Sea of Grace. Definitely makes me want to go there.
right. You might want to hold on to something. We're coming up on the wall, and passing through can take a bit of getting used to.
I don't see any wall.
Of course you don't. That's the point. It's a glamour woven by our ancestors to keep our village hidden from prying eyes. But don't take my word for it. Watch.
That was worse than a slug of Bacchus wine.
Clive, the sky.
It's blue, but how is that possible?
You do know what a glamour is, don't you? Ours just happens to work both ways, and a good thing too. I wouldn't fancy staring at those sickly clouds every day.
I so agree.
And that concludes our little voyage. We're here. It's a long slog to the village, and a hard one. I hope you're up for a climb.
Finally.
What? You didn't think we'd arrived, did you? The village isn't up here. It's on the other side of the mountain.
Of course it is.
I'm grateful, in fact. I need time to get combat down. Sort out me buttons.
Watch yourself, Sid. This path can be treacherous. If not for the sheer drop, then for the beasts who prowl it.
Thank you for the warning. And please, call me Clive. Sid is an alias.
You will be pleased to learn, Lady Shula, that I have no such aliases.
Is that so, Lord Margrace?
It's all the same to me.
But looking down there and going, that looks luscious though. Water from a distance is like on point. I was wondering if we'd correct that, and we corrected it in that exact sentence. And the real question is, what new equipment and stuff can you get? Look at that. Well, let's focus on the path and not go running off, even though they stick an item right on the edge there. Hello, Flowers of Doom.
I was wondering when they'd pick up our scent.
Stand back. We'll handle this.
Oh, will you now? Shall I keep my axe and spells to myself?
Ah, run away! It's fine. I'll figure out how to cast all my abilities very shortly. For Zantetsuken can solve every issue that I have, right? Oh, if I do that, I can't do the combo yet. There we go. Don't worry, I'm just working out the kinks of the combat system again. I've got Zantetsuken, so I'll save that for the next pack.
Spells, yet I see you carry no crystals.
Since when did a bearer ever need crystals?
But then, where is your brand?
Waiting for me in Sunbreck, if I ever get careless.
And it's in for a long wait.
Slowly but surely we'll piece back together all my abilities. Zantetsuken's fully ready to go. Zantetsuken, is there really a problem it can't solve? I don't know. What do you reckon? Looks like a no to me.
We're almost at the summit. From there, you'll have a better view of our home.
It actually took you quite a while to get back used to the combat again. Yes, well, especially when we're playing Rebirth. Everything's a bit different.
Few have ever set eyes on what I'm about to show you. Just so you know.
This is not what I expected.
Welcome, my friends, to Mysidia.
It's been a long time since I saw the North looking so
Alive.
I'm sure you have plenty of questions, but it's been a long journey, and I expect we could all do with a rest. Our humble village is only a short way from here, if you'd care to accompany me. Let's get ourselves in front of a fire, and I'll tell you everything you need to know.
Anything to...
It's beautiful, Shula.
And we aim to keep it that way.
Anything to do with the dominant hold and the power of the water, after all? Luscious plant lubricating water? Oh, that looks like you can go through there. Assuming you can see something on the opposite side. Oh, you can actually see the path from further on.
Are those stones glowing?
That's one of the cairns which maintain the glamour. Steer well clear.
What happens if I touch them? I'm assuming you don't want me to interrupt them or break them is the real thing, but it makes it sound like it's a warning in terms of something might happen to me. I've been glamoured. Just the constant pop back and forth is kind of crazy, isn't it? One pack non-Zantetsuken, next pack Zantetsuken. What are my skills again, if I remember correctly? Diamond Dust, Lightning Rod. We basically one into the other, didn't we? Giga Flare and Heat Wave. Heat Wave for my range counters. I love the time when we were just melee counting everything.
One wonders what prompted it.
Whoosh. Then laser, the laser. What's this? explain. I know it's all in due time, but still.
Company.
Oh, these poor things.
You're finished.
It's kind of nice that it was so many of them as well. Felt like a real worthy Zantetsuken moment. I do at least have my melee counter on this though. Oh, sorry. I didn't actually mean to attack you. I just got a bit trigger happy. Sorry. Well, it wasn't old Ibex. I've randomly decided to cull the local population.
Ogle, kill!
Kicking Ibex around. Sorry. Didn't mean to, honest.
Could we not have spared ourselves the mountain crossing by landing further north?
In clear view of the bay.
Oh, it's so nice to be under blue skies again. See the world a bit more colourful rather than washed out. I would say there's so much foliage on there though that it does like probably mess with the frame rate a little when panning back and forth. I'm almost tempted to just head off that way. Hey, why not? Nothing stops me having a little look. Hearing beautiful birdsong yet again. Along the river. You can take in the view. Everyone's like, why have you come down this oubliette? No, it's fine. This little passage is beautiful. Sightseeing, just exploring a new realm. I'd like to think that our guide here would be very knowing that seeing this blue sky and seeing everything alive would be quite a treat for everyone here.
On evening tides.
Does morning's light return?
Open the gates! The tributary is home!
Outsiders? Well, I never.
Look at the size of that dog.
All right now, back to your duties. You'll have to forgive my people their curiosity. We don't get many visitors. Or any, truth be told.
Then we are honored to be the first.
This is quite extraordinary. Like stepping into another world.
So do you believe me now?
You've made it difficult not to, my lady. But how did your people chance to settle here in the north? Unless I am much mistaken, the Motes of Water long called the coasts of Southern Ash their home. Until Drake's Horn fell and the Blight forced them ever inland, where...
We met our doom, along with our dominant. I see you've read the Gregorian Church's account, but perhaps you'd like to hear ours. That building over there is the Witten Hall. It's where my people gather to discuss matters of import. We can speak more inside, once the place is ready to receive you. It shouldn't take long. But you're welcome to explore the village while I see to things.
Thank you. We'll do just that.
Couldn't stop me if he wanted to. But to be honest, even though it looks like there's places to check out, it's not all that much to do.
Them, then. Don't look like much if you ask me.
Does it mean do you not see this bulging pecs? Come on. Guess I'm not a type.
Look, that one's got a black cape.
Do you think he's the leader?
Was that what black capes mean? I guess you didn't have anything to say to me. In fact, it looks like even though you've given me the option to look around town.
Hush! It's not polite to call outsiders outsiders.
We can't actually shop or do anything anywhere until we've progressed. So, I'll check out the town after I visit the Witten Hall.
Intruders! We must flee!
It's all right. They're the Tributary's guests.
After what their kind did to us. It's wrong.
Okay.
Oh, do you think he bites?
Who? The Hound? Or his master?
Guess I'm on the same level.
The poor things are as pale as ghosts. Are they unwell?
I don't think so, ma'am. It's just the way they are.
Pale. That's just because of the sun. Never thought we'd be considered pale. I mean, Clive still looks fairly tan to me. I don't know.
Welcome to Haven. The tributary awaits you within the Witten Hall.
So what do you think of our little haven in the woods? It might not have all the comforts of a southern settlement, but at least it's ours.
And there's a lot to be said for that. It can't have been easy keeping this place a secret.
Not easy, no. We've dedicated our lives to maintaining the glamour that conceals us. Us and Walias.
This man, Walias, is he Leviathan's dominant?
That's right. Though he's no man, Walias is still a baby.
A baby?
Forgive me, but you said that the Dominant and his icon were bound inside the Surge almost a century ago. That would surely make him older still.
It would, if he'd been allowed to age. But the spell robbed the poor bairn of even that.
I'm sorry?
Walias was the son of my great-grandfather. Leviathan awoke within him almost immediately. But instead of allowing the lad to live out his life as a valued member of the community, my ancestors sought to put his power to other uses. Sadly for them, the icons sensed their treachery and summoned a wave so large it would have swallowed the entire village if my ancestors hadn't stopped him.
Then it is not the surge that binds the child, but time itself.
Yes.
Forgive me. I'm still not sure I understand.
I'm not surprised. It isn't the easiest thing to explain. Which is why it might be better if I took you to see him. Show you exactly what he has to endure.
That is why we came.
Then let us be off. There's a road that leads north from the village. It'll take us right into the Surge.
Are you bound for the Wave, Tributary?
We are, Delina. Have you spread the word about our guests?
I have. Everyone knows to treat them as family.
You shouldn't have any trouble now, but just in case, I would have you accept this symbol of our people.
That's very kind. I look forward to meeting the family.
The feeling's mutual.
Should the Tributary be indisposed, feel free to ask me any questions you might have regarding the village, and I'll do my best to answer.
Thank you. We will.
Then I bid you good tide.
Good tide.
Our storehouse lies across the bridge. If you're short of supplies, you may find what you need there. Though we will have to ask you for recompense, poor as we are.
Do recompense. Well, we have quests that have already showed up before we even move on, or to go with us moving on into a new area. We have an actual settlement yet again. It's interesting that everyone is silver-haired, blue eyes, platinum blondes, right?
Yes, my lord.
I won't call me a lord. Right, let's ask about all the things. About Delina.
My name is Delina.
Oh, yes, and I serve as adjutant to Lady Shula, Tributary of Mysidia. While other adjutants who came before me played the role of guardian as well as aid, Lady Shula is an able warrior in her own right and requires no protection. So I assist her in ministering to our people's affairs while she is absent or indisposed.
By way of example.
It was I who informed the rest of the village of your coming at the Tributary's request. If there is aught you wish to know of our people or our village, please do not hesitate to ask. The village itself, then.
As I'm sure you're aware.
This land was once the domain of the Northern Thanes, though the settlement had lain abandoned for some time when our ancestors' wanderings finally brought them here. Remote as it was, it seemed to them the ideal place to settle, and they duly cast the glamour over it that their new home might remain hidden.
The secret of the spell itself
had been passed down from generation to generation since the time we left Ash. We used to disguise our camps so the custodians of the lands through which we wandered should not learn of our trespass, and it was these temporary enchantments which led our ancestors to contemplate a more permanent solution upon arriving here.
So they built the cairns.
Filled with all the shards of crystal the tribe could spare, and summoned forth a glamour large enough to cover the entire land. And for many days and nights thereafter their bearers laboured to attune the spell, that the outside world might see this place slowly succumb to the blight.
And thus we hid ourselves away.
Welcoming none into our private haven, until you, that is. At first the spell only worked one way. It was only after the skies changed that we conjured a second illusion for the benefit of those inside. With Lady Shula's idea, a salve for the nerves of those who feared the roiling storm clouds were a harbinger of the end. I pray that it brings you a little relief from the darkness of the world beyond the wall, as it has done us. There are some people who probably act like now nothing's wrong because of it, I don't know. Ask about the Motes of Water.
Our story began
on the narrow coast of southern Ash, where, for want of arable land, we relied on the mountain rains to quench our thirst, the bounty of the sea to fill our bellies, and thus did we learn the value of water.
After the fall of Drake's Horn,
we spent decades in exile, drifting across the deserts and snowfields of the Twins, till at last we arrived here in Mysidia, our second true home. Here we found mountains, rivers, and seas not unlike those of our first home in Ash. All that we lacked was crystal. We have no mother crystal of our own here, nor have we ever received any stipend from our neighbours. Were it not for the few shards we had been able to stockpile during our wanderings in the storm, we might never have survived the first few winters, let alone cast the glamour that protects us. For to demand that the bearers among us sacrifice their lives for the benefit of the others was never an option. The hardships we had faced on our journey had brought us together, and we would not be divided again. Thankfully, our unity proved our strength. And so here we have stayed, dependent only upon the blessings which this land provides us, the springs, the rivers, the seas. These are all we Motes of Water need.
Till next our streams cross.
Don't cross the streams. It's a rule.
Sid.
Stop my name. What's up, weirder?
You are Sid, aren't you? The man the Tributary told us about? I wonder if you could help me.
With what exactly?
Oh, nothing too troublesome. Do you know my husband, Pavat? He's the village smith, among other things. Anyway, his name day's not far off, and I wanted to make a gift for him. He's a craftsman, you see, and he's been fretting about running low on the flowers he uses for dye making, so I wondered if you might collect some for me and give them to him.
Would this gift not be better coming from you?
Perhaps, but it can't, for reasons I can't go into. Please, I know it sounds daft, but I'd be ever so grateful.
Sure.
Fine. Which flowers does your husband need?
The sweet little blue ones that grow around the fount. Elder's blessings, they're called. We use them to dye our fabrics so we always feel close to water like they are. You don't need to go to the trouble of picking them yourself, though. Just speak to the field hands and ask them to share their harvest with you. 2 basketfuls should be enough for my husband to be getting on with.
2 basketfuls it is.
Can you just ask them to deliver it? Sure. I'm confused. It's like something you could have done. Hey guys, could you take these to my husband? Cheers, thanks. Am I allowed in the water from here? Nope.
Excuse me. I wonder, might you be able to spare a basket of Elder's blessings? Pavard's wife tasked me with collecting some for her husband, and suggested that I speak to you.
Ah. Werda wants you to bless her better half with the fruits of our labour, does she? Go on then. Give the old fool something to squirm about.
I'm sorry.
Ah, don't worry about it. An old fool Pavard may be, but if you come bearing gifts, he's not fool enough to turn you away.
I'm glad to hear it. Thank you.
So I am the only mechanism here that can ensure he takes it. Simply put.
The mirrors.
When people believe
People believe they frighten off trespassing demons by showing them the evil in their hearts. Would you care to take a look?
No, I might see quite a lot of demons, but you had a long pause there. A long pause between the first and the rest.
Ah, welcome to Haven, friend.
Thank you. Forgive my presumptuousness, but the smith's wife has asked me to make her husband a present of some Elder's blessings. 2 basketfuls, to be precise.
Well, I have 1, if that's any help.
It is. I'm much obliged. They really are beautiful.
Aren't they just? Though that's not the only reason they have a special place in our hearts. Legend has it that when our people fled from Ash, the tributary of the time took some seeds with them. And as they wandered high and low across the Twins, he'd plant them wherever they stopped for water. Every elder since has done the same. So when we finally put down roots here in Mysidia, the flowers did too.
Well, that's 2 basketfuls.
Quick complete. After completing the main objectives of some quests, you may be given the option to quick travel to the quest's final destination. If you see a prompt in the lower right-hand corner of the screen, hold down the thing to immediately travel to the NPC eagerly awaiting your return. Of course, this option is not mandatory, and you're free to ignore it. It can also be completely disabled. Is that something new they added?
Time to visit Pavard.
It even gives a timer. They're thinking of the PC release, I'm pretty sure.
What do you want?
Your wife asked me to bring you these flowers.
2 basketful of flowers. The eldest blessings that grow by the water's edge yield a lasting blue dye with which the Motes of Water are wont to stain their fabrics. This much is known. By my weirder, the wife of Haven's leading artisan Pavat needs Clive's assistance in restocking her husband's supply of the flowers remains a mystery.
That woman. Come out. I know you're there.
Who? Me?
Would either of you care to explain what's going on?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to deceive you. It's just, my husband can be a bit standoffish at times, and I thought this might be a good way for the two of you to get acquainted. What with you being a swordsman like, and him being the only smith in the village. It'd be a shame if you couldn't turn to him for help.
The only reason he couldn't turn to me for help is because I had my hands full with all the orders you lot dumped on me. I'm pretty much done with them now, though. But, for the record, the Tributary said that we were to lend you outsiders our aid, and that's exactly what I was planning to do. With or without my darling wife's meddling. Still, here we are. Acquainted. So, if there's out you need, just bring us the materials, all right?
All right.
All right, then. And tar for the flowers. I was running low.
You use them for dyeing, I hear.
Aye. Crush the petals and it makes a fine and lasting blue. We use it to stain the cloth for our tunics and pennons. Remind us where we come from, like.
As Motes of Water. Children of the sea.
That's right. The pattern too was left by our ancestors. The Ceaseless Rill, it's called. It symbolizes the river of our tribe, with the strength of Leviathan running through it. And no matter how that river has ebbed and flowed, changed its course, the flowers have always been with us, growing on our banks. I should get back to work. If you need something crafting, let me know.
Oh well. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Wasn't it just?
Do it back, Clive. Sign of respect. Reflection of Earth Titanic Block. Enhances Titan's iconic feat Titanic Block, making it capable to block attacks from behind while restoring a small of the HP regain gauge. What? Wish I had that earlier. Way earlier.